it's Antia Boyd.
And Boyd.
And we're the creators of the Magnetize The Man Summit. So really excited for you to jump right into the next interview because we have created this for you to stop attracting emotionally unavailable men, overcome your trust issue, and so much more. So you attract that right man for you that makes you feel seen, cherished, and supported.
Can't wait to see you inside the interview and get you on the path to magnetizing your man once and for all. See you there. Look forward to it.
Mwah! Hey, it's Antia Boyd with the Magnetize The Man Summit, where single, successful women crack the attraction code and live their happily ever after. And let me tell you, today you're going to learn the most efficient program in the country, how to get the man, with Mike Goldstein. So Mike, welcome.
Yes, we're finally back together, Antia. I'm so pumped to be here.
Yeah. Oh, awesome. Well, ladies, in case you don't know why I'm so excited about it, that we have Mike on, let me tell you, he's a one-on-one online dating expert, founder of Easy Dating Coaching, who helps men and women make dating and relationships easy. He has been featured on the Today Show, the Star Ledger, Reader's Digest, and Shape Magazine. And 83% of Mike's clients enter relationships. That's a really high percentage during coaching, and he has a 100% client satisfaction. He uses data from multiple major online dating sites to ensure his clients typically only need to meet 6 to 8 people. That's not a lot of people for online dating to find someone they like. Mike's clients typically get into a relationship in 3 to 4 months of working with him. Now, those are some real numbers here. So let's talk. Welcome, Mike.
Yes, I'm so pumped to be here. How are you? High five.
So good. Awesome. So today we're going to talk about how to get a man, the most efficient program in the country, Mike. And before we do that, tell us a little bit like why, because we can't tell at all that you're passionate about this, so tell us a little bit about like what makes you being so passionate about being the easy dating coach.
Oh, this is my life. It started from a very early age. At like 15, all I wanted was like to hold the hand of some girl, like a sophomore, and I was a sophomore in high school. Aww. And I was this nerdy kid. I was fat. I had glasses. I had braces, and no girl was talking to me whatsoever. So I'm like, I gotta learn. So I started learning from masters, learning from my best friend who was very good. And finally, I kissed my first girl at 16. It happened.
Woo, yeah.
That was a big day for me. But then it got much further. Obviously, I didn't know what I wanted to do at 16. But in my 20s, Antia, I fell in love, and I was so excited about it. I thought I was getting married. And then this girl or woman cheated on me with my very close friend.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, womp, womp. So I was crying my eyes out for 3 months. I could barely get out of bed.
Yeah.
And then I finally picked myself up, started reading everything under the sun, and finally figured out I didn't understand women at all. So I went on a journey to learn. Then I started an online dating methodology, and I started getting a lot of people married. Before I even started a business, I had 6 people married. And they're like, you should start a business. So I did, and now we're up to 11. And we're working with the online dating sites where they're sending me their data because they're shocked that I'm getting 83% of clients into relationships. So it's really exciting. And we've been doing this for about 10 years now and getting a lot of people to fall in love.
I love that you're really bringing hope back to online dating, because I have so many women who come to us and they're just like giving up. They have like the online dating burnout or whatever you want to call it. And what would you tell those women? Like what happened? Why did they get burned out? What are they not seeing, or what do they not know?
Well, first off, you should be getting burned out. Like, online dating can freaking stink.
Yeah.
Especially if you're not doing it the right way. Like, you're just going to go on a lot of bad dates, and a lot of crummy men are going to message you. And just so you know, we keep data, and literally 95% of incoming traffic is not the right man for you. So that means when you get 20 messages,
oh wow,
only one of them might make sense for you. So yes, be discouraged. But there is a light at the end of the tunnel. There's some good math behind this, Antia. What I say to women is get a competitive advantage in online dating. And what it is not on Bumble, but on a major site like Match.com. Don't send a few messages, send a ton of them, and ask a guy out. So your message is, hey, would you like to grab a drink sometime? And you send that to 50 men in 20 minutes real quick. And then 12 of those guys want to go on a date with you. And then from those 12 that you send in 20 minutes, you pick one. So I call that 50-12-1. You probably have a lot of questions.
Wow. So, so I'm curious about that because we talk a lot about polarity, right? So a lot of women say like, well, I mean, I don't want to be the one approaching, right? So you mean like I'm supposed to chase the man and send 50 messages?
Oh, great question. So Antia, I am wildly traditional. I'm like, the man pays for the date, the man opens the door, the man holds the chair, takes her jacket off.
Right.
I'm all for that stuff.
Yeah.
Masculine energy, feminine, all that stuff. But guess what? Throw that crap out of the window for 2 seconds just for online dating, just to get to the date. And so that's what we're missing. You can take the masculine role, if you will, the masculine role during online dating to get the date. But then once you go on the date, then go back to being your normal self, a woman so you go have an amazing first date, you end the date, you go, Mike, that was the best date of my entire life. I hope I get to see you again. And then you don't text him, you don't call him, you go into your feminine side and you wait for him to call you. And if he asks you on a second date, boom, we're rolling. And so you just repeat that process. So it's really taking control and taking it like your dating life by the horns and being like, I am not going to be single anymore. I'm going out there. I'm going to go get my dates. I'm still going to be feminine on the dates, but I am going to get these dates.
Okay. Awesome. Yeah, that's a good distinction. And so it's really about the art of transitioning. So the woman then needs to be able to have that skill of transition.
Yeah, it's very important. So it's like super aggressive online dating where you're like, boom, sending message, asking people out. And then then you're on the date, transition. It's like, sexy Antia mode, like, and you act like a woman.
You act like a woman. You're not one, but you act like one. So we're talking about the most efficient program in the country today. So what are some of the steps of that most efficient program to get the man?
Well, since we don't have that much time, I'm going to start at the 10,000 foot level. The most efficient thing you can do is just realizing the competitive advantage is 50-12-1. So a lot of women out there are not sending enough messages. So just send the 50, send the 12, or have 12 want to go out with you, and then pick one and go on one date a week. And now feel free to do this multiple times. So if you get to 50-12-1, you do that every week. Or if you're not getting enough dates, then you send 100, then you send 150. So it's really bulking up those numbers is the key. And, we all have watched those Disney movies and watched, everyone fall in love. But it's not like that. If we can, unfortunately, make this a math and science experiment. But it is fun on the dates. Like, you're going to have fun. But the online part, if we just make it almost like a business transaction and I hate to say that, but a math science experiment, send a ton of messages, the funnel, send a lot of messages, it comes narrow, we go on one date and we repeat until we find the guy that makes sense.
So tell me, because that sounds very simple and just based on what I hear from my clients, it's not necessarily that a guy goes right on a date with you. So a lot of guys want to talk and they want to write. And so what does the woman do to ensure that she's, it's like a message here too, but then it's really getting to meet in person. Like, what can she do to avoid that long-term dragging out scenario where men message forever and ever?
Yeah, just ask him out like that.
And what do you do when he's like kind of Not a yes, not a no. He's just like, oh, I'll let you know, or I'll get back to you, or whatever it is.
Honestly, I'd probably just move on to the next person, because who has time for that? When we're doing 50-12-1, we've got 12 people that want to go on a date.
Right.
So like, if you don't want to go on a date, cool. Like, whatever, that's fine. I wish you luck, but I've got things to do. We're busy.
So tell me a story, because you have so many success stories, you know, like a really good story of a woman who just really had a really hard time attracting men and really had a fantastic time doing this method, online dating, and found her man.
Yes.
And how did that go?
Isabella.
Okay.
So when I first met Isabella, she came out of like a somewhat battered relationship. So I felt really bad for her. And I'm like, I got to help this woman. Like, abusive man, like she needs a really good guy. And so Isabella's in her 40s. She's quite a bit overweight, which is fine. There's a lid for every pot. So no excuses, ladies. I don't care if you're overweight, if you're religious, if you're whatever, there's a lid for every pot. Anyway, Isabella, of course, was nervous. She's like, you want me to do what? I'm going to message that many guys? What are you talking about? And I'm asking them out on a date? Are you crazy? I'm like, yes, I am crazy, but you're going to fall in love. So anyway, she goes on a date and she comes back and she's like, I'm not attracted to this guy, Mike. And I go, oh, okay. Like, how attracted were you to him? Like on a 0 to 10 scale? I don't know, like a 4. Like, ooh, that's not so good. But Isabella, how was the conversation? It was a 10. I really enjoyed the date. I'm like, all right, would you give him a second chance? She's like, yeah, sure. So then she goes 3, 4, 5 dates. And Antia, she comes back on the 5th date and she goes, Mike, like, I'm still not that attracted, but we had so much fun together and the conversation was a 10. I'm like, all right. Will you give him another chance? Yeah. So they finally go on date 8. She comes back and she goes, Mike. I'm like, what? Nick is the sexiest man alive. I'm like, what? And so fast forward a little bit. I was at their wedding about, actually, a year and a week ago, because they just had their anniversary. And they're so happy together, and life is amazing. But yeah, the method worked.
Wow, it's so interesting, you know, that our bodies are necessarily not attracted right away to what's good for us, right? Like oftentimes we feel an attraction to someone that is not healthy, that is emotionally unavailable, right? And we feel like attraction and think that's love, but it's really not.
You got that spot on. We confuse chemistry and compatibility. And what we found, just to give numbers, because I'm a huge numbers nerd, most people that get married end up having like sexual attraction or chemistry of an 8 out of 10, sometimes higher, but usually an 8 out of 10, but compatibility is a 10 out of 10. But a scientific study a number of years ago allowed women to rate men and vice versa. So they gave a picture of someone. So they gave a picture and they're like, rate that on a 0 to 10 scale attractiveness. So a woman would go, this guy's a 4. And then they'd let them talk to the guy, right? And if he had an amazing personality, he could go up to an 8 on attractiveness when they re-rated it. Terrible personality, 4 went down to a 0. So basically what they discovered is women can move attractiveness 4 basis points. And so that can, you might as well give guys a chance that are 4 or higher, because they can go to an 8, a 5 can go to a 9. Yeah. And so that's what I encourage my clients is give guys a chance. And obviously if you never get there, that's fine. You can break up, but give the guy a chance, especially one that's treating you well and has a great personality. Like he might get there on the attractiveness for you.
Interesting. Yeah. And it's like we're attracted to what we're familiar with. So if we're not familiar with good men and secure men because we were just dating a-holes, excuse my French, then it's going to take a while, right? Because the body needs to literally get used to that kind of energy. Absolutely. And another thing I was wondering too is like what other women ask me all the time, when is a good time to cut it off? Like when is it time to be like, you know what I mean? I've been dating for 3 months. I'm still not getting there. Like when is the time, you know? Like, how do you know when it's enough to say, you know, I'm just not going to get there?
Oh, awesome question. So I would say it's different for every woman. There is some math and some averages. So on average, men know if they're going to fall in love with that person after date 2, believe it or not. But on the flip side, women on average take 14 dates. But women, I think, especially if they've, you know, are older, they've got more experience, can make the decision faster. So I usually say if you're having a great time and it's like an 8 to 10 out of compatibility, give it at least 5 dates. And I don't care about the time frame. Like some people, you know, you get the 5 dates done in 5 weeks. Other people get it done in 2 weeks. Some people get it done in 3 months. But I do it on dates. But usually between 5 and 8, you should be able to tell if the person makes sense for you. And of course, sometimes you can do it sooner and sometimes later. Sometimes you need a full 14 or 20. That's okay. But I like to set that boundary before we go through the process. So we talk about, hey, in the past, how long has it taken you to figure it out?
Yeah.
And if you've had no experience giving a guy a chance, well, let's experiment. Let's give a guy that's nice to you a chance to see if you get there. And so it's really an exploration to discover, you know, what you need in your dating life if you don't know.
I love that so much that you say that, because that was my experience with my husband too, right? You know, he was like a secure attachment style. I was not used to that. I was used to avoiding attachment style. So I was like, I don't know what that is. I mean, he's cute, but you know, it's okay. He told me I'm the girl for him, but you know, like, I don't know. Right. And so like, it takes some time or like a pivotal moment. Right. So for us, he told me, wait, are you seeing other guys? And I'm like, well, you know, I'm seeing other guys. Right. And then, you know, and that was like this pivotal moment where it's like, well, oh, wait a minute, you know, there's like some emotions involved here. Right. Because, you know, we might know why, and context is, of course, plays a big role too.
Wow. So it was like Broderick, like, you know, was it a shock when he's like, I'm going to call you at 5 o'clock tomorrow, and then he actually does it, and you're used to people just like not showing up?
Yeah. I mean, and it was like really calm. It was really, there was no drama. There was no tension. There was no, and so remember, like my system thought like, well, there's no tension, so must not be attraction, right? But then it's like, but I cannot imagine not having this guy in my life. So my system, my body, you know, couldn't, you know, was kind of like going on overload because it couldn't make sense out of it. So, what I wanted to say was like, that's why it makes so much sense what you say, going on many dates, because I always tell my women, gosh, I think for us it was like 2 months in, and we've seen each other maybe twice a week until I'm finally like, got the memo, you know what I mean? Like, and I'm like, oh yeah, I am in love with him, you know, like he has like sneaked himself into my heart. So that is definitely really, really important.
Yes.
So what's another thing you find that single women do that really gets them stuck and not have them attract the right man, and not, you know, not end up with the right man, specifically with a secure man and a man that treats them well? What are they doing wrong?
Yes, that is a great question. It's all about boundaries on all aspects. Like, men have no respect for women that don't have boundaries and just let us do whatever we want. We are just going to keep poking and wondering what we can get away with. And we need a woman to tell us, no, you can't do that. Yes, you can do that. And it's in all aspects. So let me give you an example. Like, for example, let's say a man's trying to have sex. That's what we do. We try to have sex.
No, really?
Yeah, I swear. It's a big shock.
I don't think you just try, you know, but anyway, so.
Yeah, we do what we can. So we try to have sex. And some women let us, some don't. But if a woman doesn't let us, but we really like her, we're going to keep coming back because we don't care that we're not having sex yet. If we really like you, we're coming back. That's what happened with Kelly, who I'm engaged to. She wouldn't have sex with me. I was trying on the first date and nothing. But eventually I liked her, and so it didn't matter. I kept coming back for dates. I kept trying to impress her and, you know, make her want me. So that's a boundary. Then on top of that, we need women to tell us what they want, which is so rare. And this is the most exciting thing a woman can do, is give us a roadmap to what she wants. Because we're used to like, all right, we've got a new woman. In the past, I used to get a woman flowers and she liked that. But this new woman, she hates flowers, but she wants something else. If you tell him how to make you happy, we're going to be like all over that. We're like, yes, finally, someone's telling me what to do. I am so drawn to this woman because I know how to make her happy. Oh, how exciting.
It's so good to hear that because, you know, so many women that tell me, well, if I tell the guy that, then it doesn't really count. You know what I mean? If he doesn't read my mind, I'm like, no, like it's a score when he knows what you want and he does it. That's a score because he still has the freedom not to do it.
Yes. Like, you don't know how lazy men are, and especially me. Kelly tells me to do stuff all the time. I'm a professional, Antia. Like, this is my job. Like, I'm supposed to be the best at this.
Right.
She will sometimes tell me to do nice things for her, and I sometimes don't do it. So, but when I do it, she's like, yes, like he did it. And so who cares if you told him or not? If he does it, he put the effort in. He's showing that he loves you. That's a win. Because there are so many men out there, expert included, that sometimes just don't do the thing. So we need the guy to show up. We need him to do it. And boundaries, if he, you know, consistently is not doing, you know, that's another discussion.
So it's really both, right? It's like to say no when you're not ready to be intimate at a certain level, but at the same time also speaking up and expressing your desire. And that's been really a theme on the summit, is really express your desires early on. Let the man know that you're interested, you know, and that, well, what you want, or if you like flowers, or would you rather have a hug, or whatever it is, you know, and that they really want to make you happy. And my husband says the same thing. Like he says, you know, I just want to make you happy. You're not happy. Why you're not happy? You know, and I'm like, that's so interesting, you know?
Yeah, that's really how we judge our success. If our woman's happy, we're like, oh, I'm good in this relationship. I did it.
Yeah.
And so like, that's why like so many coaches out there are training their women, like forget this whole dating thing, like go get yourself happy and be this like self-actualized amazing woman before you go out there. Because it's so much easier. Because if we like roll up and like Antia's got her life together, she's rocking it. And I'm like, hey, Antia, you want to go on a date? And you're just like beaming with smiling. And you're like, I have this amazing life. I have this great job. I have this wonderful family. I have all these things going on. I'm like, all right, well, this should be easy. Like, this is great. She's already happy. I can keep her happy very simply.
Right. I'm
in.
So again, men are lazy, right? So that they look for, okay, who's already the happiest, and then I can take the credit. That's what you guys do. You guys take the credit.
Yes.
For any happiness.
You did all the work, but we're going to be like, yeah, I did this.
I did that, you know.
Little did we know she was already way, way happy before she met me.
This is such a, like, you know, men are very strategic. It's very smart. You know, I never thought about that. But that, yeah, of course, you know, why not get someone who's already happy, and then you're good. You know, you take the credit. I did it, you know, you get the berries on your head, and, you know, and it's a really wonderful thing. So, well, I could continue to talk to you forever, Mike. You know, there's so much to talk about: masculine, feminine dynamics, communication. I mean, it's endless.
Absolutely.
So for the women who are like, well, I want to hear more about what you guys would talk about, you know, and what Mike has to share. What is it that you have to offer to the women to get closer to their man quickly?
Oh, wait, is this my free gift, or is this you want advice?
Free gift.
Confused.
Yeah.
Oh, free gift time.
Free gift time. Where's my bell?
Woo-hoo! Free gift time. I'm ready. I've got the most amazing thing on the planet. I literally spent $10,000 building a webinar for you guys. That is amazing. It's how to get a man in 90 days who will actually commit and will not disappear. This is, we were talking like 10,000 foot level of like my system. And you're probably like, whoa, Mike's crazy, but I have no idea how to do that. Well, this webinar is literally going to walk you through like step by step how to do my system. which is the most efficient in the entire country. It gets 83% of clients into relationships. Even folks that are not signing up, which is a lot, and just watching the webinar, not signing up to be a client, are emailing me. They're like, hey, I got a boyfriend. Hey, I got a boyfriend. Like probably like 2 or 3 a month. It's just, I didn't sign up, but Mike, you're a genius. Thank you. So guys, this webinar is free. Go check it out. And for those of you who are like, Mike, yes, you are awesome, and I just want to work with you, just hit to sign up for a call. It'll be in an email. Just sign up for the webinar. And
like on the click the link below.
Yep, it'll be somewhere. And then just come talk to me, and we'll figure it out if it makes sense, and then we'll get you rocking and rolling, and you can be an 83%. We'll get you on the stat sheet of success story, and then it'll be beautiful. You'll have your guy forever.
And most importantly, Mike is going to teach you how to have such an exuberant energy and personality like he does. Right?
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, you're welcome. Well, thank you so much for being on today, Mike. And any takeaway golden nugget you have for the women who are looking out there? Wondering, is she ever going to meet him?
100% you are going to meet him. There's 2 things you need, and this is brand new. There's 2 things you need to be successful. I'm 100% sure. And this is Tony Robbins. This is me. There's 2 things, 2 S's. You need a great state of mind, and you need a great strategy. So if you come to me, or you come to Antia, or you come to anyone with like, I am going to get this done no matter what, and then myself or someone gives you an amazing strategy on how to get the guy, then 100% you're going to get it done. Now, if you have this state of mind, but like a mediocre strategy, you can still get it done. It's just going to take longer. And that's okay too. So for those people that don't want to spend any money on coaching, that's fine. You got this mindset of like, oh yeah, here I go. I'm getting it done. I'm getting it done. You're going to get it done. But if you want to speed it up, come talk to me. Come watch the webinar. We're going to help you out. And Antia, you are freaking amazing. Thank you so much for having me on your show.
Awesome, Mike. Yeah, it was such a blast. I'm sure everybody's like, oh my God, I want just more energy of that. You know, can we just bottle that up, and can you guys sell that? Maybe we'll do that in the future. All right, well, thank you for being on today, Mike. And for the ladies, I'll talk to you next time.
Thanks for having me. Bye.
Was that absolutely delicious? We just love how every single expert has those juicy pieces of wisdom for you to enjoy. Look, if you want to own the entire Magnetize the Man series, we invite you to get our Magnetize the Man VIP All Access package. Not only will you own the entire video series, but also you will get our Magnetize the Man Masterclass that teaches you the 3-step formula, step by step, on how to attract the right man for you. You also get some other juicy secret trainings and a one-on-one call with me where we personalize your individual journey to attract that right man for you as soon as possible. So look, to get that, click the link below that says get access now, and you get it all. Own the entire series, including all the juicy bonuses, well worth over $1,400 for nearly the fraction of the cost. All right, we will see you in the next interview.
See you soon.
Bye.
Bye.
Mwah.
Mwah.